Ah, good. There it is. Okay, that does work then. New PC is working fine. Good. Well, at least I hope it is. No way of knowing. Yeah. Time to scratch the stealth itch I've had for a while. Returning home. You have just returned from a journey of several months, visiting the other nations in the Empire to ask for aid in dealing with the rat plague. You must deliver their diplomatic response to the Empress, whom you serve as Lord Protector.
Corvo, if only there was someone else I trusted to send, so that you could remain near. But there is no one else. And the Spy Master was right to insist that I send you. The plague has taken so many, and we must find a cure. When you are near, my heart is at peace. Emily and I will count the days until you return. Hurry home, and bring good news.
Steady hand. That's it. Watch it.
Cast off line!
Casting off. We're away. Take us straight to Dunwall Tower. Lord Corvo has news for the Empress, and we've come a long way.
A long way to bring bad news. The sailors say there's a curse on us. Black magic.
Superstition. For all we know, there's a cure for the plague by now.
Maybe. We live in strange times. Sending the Empress's bodyguard away for a couple of months. That's unusual.
Well, this was important. We need help with the rat plague. Ho there! We're going up.
Sealed. Ready.
Turning on the pipes. And she's rising.
Home at last.
Steady pressure. And stop! Shut her down.
The Empress will be waiting for your news, Corvo.
You know what to do next time?
Yes, yes. The pressure was too low. All these
Hello, sir.
Corvo, you're back! Will you tell me about your trip, please? Were there any whales? Wait! Let's play hide and seek first. I'll cover my eyes and you hide. You have time? Mother's busy talking to that nasty old spy master.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Let's go! Come on! Did you see any monsters while traveling to the other isles? My nanny says the big ocean's full of them, but I think she only says that to scare me. Let's see if you're still good at this. I'll hide my eyes and count, and at the end of the countdown, I'll try and find you. Okay, I'm going to count to 10. Find a place to hide.
Circle for stealth. Okay.
1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here I come.
That's gonna be...
I always find you.
Really? Okay.
Or maybe here.
Right here. How can you not see?
Okay, you win. We should go now, so Mother can see you too. While you were gone, Mother seemed very sad. I think she missed you. Later, will you give me more climbing lessons? Someday I'm going to climb up to the rooftop.
Welcome home, Lord Protector. Stop moving, Campbell. And you, Corvo, welcome back. Wherever you've been. They sent him all around the Isles to beg for aid. A waste of time. My elixir will banish the plague from this city. Now keep still a moment, High Overseer Campbell.
I'm not so sure that painting looks like Campbell.
She'll see you at once.
They're sick people, not criminals.
We've gone beyond that question, Your Majesty.
They're my citizens, and we will save them from the plague if we can. All of them.
Very well.
We will not speak of this again.
Mother, Corvo is back.
Thank you, Emily. Leave us, please.
As you wish, Your Majesty. Corvo. 2 days early. Full of surprises, as usual.
It's a fair wind that brings you home to me.
Follow me, Captain.
What news have you brought?
We should leave them alone.
How? Not given the prompt.
I hoped that one of the other cities had dealt with this before, knew of some cure. This news is very bad. We're at the breaking point. Cowards. They're going to blockade us. They'll wait to see if the plague turns the city into a graveyard.
Are you okay, Mother? You seem sad.
Yes, don't worry, darling. Mother is fine. Wait, where are the guards? Who sent them away?
Mother, look! What are they doing on the rooftop?
What? Emily, come here! Emily, get behind me!
One to block. Ugh.
Corvo, thank you. If you hadn't been here... No more! Not again!
Mommy!
No! Get away from her! Corvo!
Mommy! Get away! Corvo!
Corvo, it's all coming apart. Find Emily. Protect her. You're the only one. You'll know what to do. Won't you? Corvo.
Ward us all. Look at what he's done.
Yes, He's killed the Empress. What did you do with young Lady Emily, traitor?
Her own bodyguard. Ironic.
I'll see you beheaded for this, Corvo. Peg him.
"6 months have passed since you were accused by the royal spymaster of murdering the Empress and conspiring to abduct her daughter Emily, the royal heir. Now locked away in Coldridge Prison, the time of your execution draws near."
This is your final chance, Corvo. Sign the confession, and let me give you the rights to put your spirit at ease.
That's enough for now. Get out. Let's give the man some time to think. Corvo, the Empress is dead. Her daughter Emily is hidden away, and no one will ever know the truth.
Yes, unlucky you. Tomorrow you'll be executed, but it's for a good cause. This country needs strong leadership now, someone to guide the weak. And that's where we come in.
There was nothing personal in this, even though you almost sank our plans. But it turned out well. You were in the wrong place at the right time, and someone has to take the fall. Goodbye, Corvo. Guards! Take him back to his cell.
You should eat, Corvo. This meal comes from a friend.
Corvo, who we are is irrelevant. Right now, just know that we have faith in you. Here is the key to your cell. Once you're out, head for the prison's interrogation room. Take the explosive there and plant it on the outer door. When the bomb goes off, run. Make for the river and lose yourself in the sewers. You'll find some useful gear stashed there. One of the prison guards will leave a weapon just outside your cell. And good luck. We need you alive and well for what's to come. Signed, a friend. Right, options for that. Save now, because I'm gonna need it.
Let me know if you want to gamble on the hounds again. You're such a choffer.
So many people are coming to the execution tomorrow.
On account of Corvo.
You're out.
The one who
Good
killed
for
the
you.
Empress.
Hey,
Abducted her
kill a
daughter.
guard for me, will ya? So it's an occasion.
Right. Social event
Burn
for the
this
high
place
mighty.
to the ground.
R1 for non-lethal.
See the noble
Okay,
Lord
that's
Protector
all I
get his
need to
head
know.
chopped off.
As bad as us betting
Let
on
me
the
out.
Nazis.
I've got 3 days before they cut my head off.
Attention, the solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
anybody with signs of the sickness?
I don't think shit.
Stupid goddamn.
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel assigned to the event and approved dignitaries only.
Full route yet.
It's just ridiculous. Stupid rats. Plague. Elixir. Bunch of crap.
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
Yeah, that went well. I'm going to end up being extra careful, aren't I? Oh well. Cannot be helped.
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel assigned to the event and approved dignitaries only. Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
Why did you... Ugh. I must never be seen. I want to do this as true ghost as I can. No killing, never seen. Won't even know I was there till I was gone.
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
Did when I missed those coins.
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel assigned to the event and approved dignitaries only. Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
Never gonna use it.
Corvo's unconscious again, though he's taken more punishment than in 2
interrogation. When he wakes, we'll start again. Having him sign the confession for her murder isn't critical, but it might be useful to us later. The assassination of an empress is not a trivial matter.
Duty officer's report. Corvo's interrogation. Corvo Atenor, formerly the Royal Protector, will be brought in for interrogation. This is of utmost importance. The Lord Regent and High Overseer Campbell will conduct the questioning themselves. Follow their orders without hesitation, and keep the torturer under control. If Corvo dies in his hands, instead of getting the public execution the Lord Regent wants, it'll be your head that rolls next. Excerpt from a book on the esoteric practices of the Abbey. Once a child shows the proper inclination, he is marked. Overseers are assigned to study the subject surreptitiously in order to determine whether this inclination is supported by cosmological conditions and other signs ongoing throughout the year. At the end of the cycle, those befitting further testing are removed from their homes some hours before dawn and must begin the march to an outpost outside the city. There, the children undergo trial, preparation, and evaluation until the last night of the month of the rain, when they make a pilgrimage to Whitecliff. During an elaborate ceremony, it is determined which of the children will become overseers and which must be put down. Ugh.
Signed to the event and are dignitaries only.
Should save.
Ackworth, you lazy slug. Did you patrol the yard?
Sorry, not yet. I was gonna report that boiler leak from yesterday.
Forget it. Just do your rounds. A report's trouble for both of us.
I'm moving. Hey, you tired yet?
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
Over there.
That's just ridiculous. Stupid rats. Elixir. Bunch of crap. No. Stupid god. No.
Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel assigned to the event and approved dignitaries only.
Okay. Is that done? I think out here I can steal.
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
Seen any more big rat swarms?
Nothing at all.
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel assigned to the event and approved dignitaries only.
Yeah, but everything has to be...
Can get the distinct feeling this is going to be slightly awkward.
set up today.
I can't wait to see his head roll. Not everyone did, but I really like the Empress.
Ah. Poop. I guess I wasn't close enough.
Up today.
I can't wait to see his head roll. Not everyone did, but I really like the Empress.
No. Don't even know if that counts as scene or not, but too much for me.
Up today.
I can't wait to see his head roll. Not everyone did, but I really like the Empress.
That way, you're going over there.
Chance you'll share your food with me tonight?
You always amuse me.
That last... Really? I did it before then. It's fine, there's still a fairly big weakness I can take advantage of.
Up today.
I can't wait to see his head roll. Not everyone did, but I really like the Empress. Hey, don't you owe me a drink?
I don't need shit from you. Huh?
I did not want him to turn. Should have checked what he did before then, but I've got to be me, don't I? I really have myself to blame. I have to do this full stealth, don't I?
Up today.
I can't wait to see his head roll. Not everyone did, but I really like the Empress.
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
Stupid cut. Nothing, son of Marlon
On. Start going back down.
Hey, can I buy your ration of elixir from today?
Stupid cut. Nothing, son
Anyway, that's one down.
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel assigned to the event and approved dignitaries only.
Weird, I don't really feel that well hidden here.
No, stupid goddamn. Nothing, son of Marlon
Attention. The solitary wing is off limits to maintenance crews, unless accompanied by an officer of the watch. Escort through the solitary wing must be scheduled in advance, with 1 week's notice.
No idea where the others went, but whatever.
event and approves dignitaries only. Attention, the solitary wing is off limits to maintenance unless accompanied by an officer.
Okey-doke. Any more stealables around here? Not that I can see.
Any chance you'll share your food with me tonight?
I don't need shit from you.
Well, hopefully that's everyone. Does seem to be the case anyway. Okay. This is safe enough. Kind of being seen. I don't want to be seen. Just wanted to look that way in case there were any collectibles down there, whatever. Uh-oh. Just open the door normally. I'm going to assume I wasn't seen. And let's go to the sewers. You have escaped Coleridge Prison with the help of hidden allies. If you can reach the Wernhaven River, they promise to aid you in your next move.
He used some kind of explosive to blast his way out. That doesn't happen by accident.
You think he had help?
Corvo, if you're reading this, it means our plan worked and you've broken free from Coleridge. One of our contacts has hidden weapons for you somewhere deeper in the sewers. Grab the gear and find Samuel, where these tunnels dump out into the river. He will bring you to us, a friend who will meet you soon.
You know how to do that?
Bottle Street gang, maybe. Watch for booby traps. Could be some down here by the look of it.
Good. If we're lucky, one of them will get Corvo.
You're afraid of him? He's Sir Conan. It's all merchants and whores down there.
Kids like you, you never saw what he was.
Doesn't count as me carrying him, so I'm fine. Well, that's pretty much the only time that will be true. Amanda and I only had enough coin to buy half the elixir we needed. Even that's all gone now, and there's nothing to do but wait. We're very sick. There's no place above to hide from the city watch. They're breaking into houses all over our district. So we'll stay here and share the last hours together. Our fire will keep the rats away, but they'll inherit this city. Damien. Aw. Nothing to steal. My first instinct is to steal from them. It's terrible. I've got some coin out of it, so it's fine.
Aren't we supposed to load the bodies into carts headed to the flooded district?
Yeah, but screw that. That's too far. I don't want to catch the plague, do you?
No. Doesn't the elixir prevent it?
Maybe. Either way, let's just dump them down there. Let the rats eat.
Really? How's he know good rats?
Attention Dunwall citizens. The assassin Corvo, responsible for the murder of our fair Empress and the disappearance of Lady Emily, heir to the throne, has temporarily escaped state custody. Any evidence as to his whereabouts must be delivered to the City Watch at once.
I hope that damage won't have any adverse effects later. Got pass on eating rat as well. apparently I will eat the rotten fruit. Okay. Is that taken care of? Okay. Greetings, Corvo, or should I say Lord Protector. As you were known before that title was wrongfully taken from you, we are servants of the Empire and of the true Empress, a group of loyalists who want very much to meet you. Take these weapons, crafted for you of the finest materials in the Isles, and meet with our man Samuel, near where these tunnels spill into the Wrenhaven River. All haste and luck. We share a common purpose. Didn't leave any gold in there though, did you? Jelly. In case you're too daft to remember, look to your whiskey for the answer. Whiskey, got it? If you want your share, you'll sort it out. If not, I'll come back for it next month. Whiskey. Four, 5, 1.
Won't get past me, sir.
Do you know who we're hunting here? Don't try to take him out alone.
But what if no one from the squad is around?
Then try to make a lot of noise when you die. Knock something over if you can.
Bastard. Smells like a dead leaper in here. They come here to die sometimes in the dark. Slip into the water, don't come out.
Really? Aye. Okay.
Wonder how deep it is. I can't see the bottom.
Save here because we don't want to get caught. Just start my body pile there.
Seen any more big rat swarms?
I don't think shit.
Huh?
For the love of... Okay, game. You want to do it this way? We'll do it this way. There's another no variable there. No. Nope, nope, nope.
Wait a minute. Who's...
For the love of... I do not like this at all. worst part is it takes so long to load again.
Nasty furry Phil.
Got up here at last.
Burn! Hey, bug someone else.
No, stupid goddamn.
Stay standing there all the time. Don't care about drop assassination tutorial. I ain't killing anyone.
You should bathe. I can smell you from here. Please, not now.
I need...
Fucking longer do I have to fuck?
Darn it. Not meant to turn around then. Aye.
Nasty furry Phil.
Nah, lousy, no good. Filthy game. Don't want any of them alerted. should help immensely. I'll just wait for him to go to that side of the fire and I'll take him out. Which will unfortunately take a while, because he's going to mess around over here, isn't he? Oh well. As well. Okay, go to this side of the fire. Come on. What? Good. Down there. That's it, apparently. Should have taken that chance. And that's 4 in the body pile. Pretty sure that's all of them. It's here, by the Warehaven. I'll make my last home. It stinks to the void, but my grandma's hagfish stew drove the odor away. I remember sailing out on this river to the great ocean, that vast, blinding light and blue water. I was a tender 15, and our nets were always full to bursting. The old days, before everything went to shit. Anyway it goes, It's either the boots of the watch against my skull, the teeth of the rats on my bones, or the trembles of the plague all over my skin. Don't matter none to me.
Attention Dunwall citizens. The assassin Corvo, responsible for the murder of our fair Empress and the disappearance of Lady Emily, heir to the throne, has temporarily escaped state custody. Any evidence as to his whereabouts must be delivered to the City Watch at once.
Say it again, maybe the plague wouldn't be so bad if you didn't just leave bodies everywhere.
Corvo, over here. Quickly, I'm a friend. I'm Samuel, and I work for some good people who want very much to meet you. Well, they said you'd come out here. I can still hardly believe it. I'll take you to meet them. Just down the river from here.
Alright, old man, let's go. Let's see how well we did in that mission. Ugh! How and where was one found? Really? Oh. I really would like to know how an unconscious body was found. Where? I find that annoying, but since I don't know where it is, I can't correct it. Either way, that we're playing the entire mission again. Hidden in an old bar on the river, your new allies have plans to share with you. Meet with your loyalists in a circle to learn what they've got in mind.
This is the Hound Pit's pub, closed for business. Half the district marked off as dead from the plague. We're right under the Lord Regent's nose, and he don't know a thing. course, if anyone finds out what we're up to, the Watch will break in with swords drawn. And now that you've escaped, the Lord Regent's going to be tearing the city apart. I'll take you up to meet Admiral Havelock and the rest of the Loyalists. The Admiral's a man to be reckoned with. If anyone can help you find that missing girl, Lady Emily, and clear your name, he can.
I should keep a lookout for all things. Water is horrible looking. Huh? Oh. Great. Things in water to damage me. It's fine. I don't want a hill, though. I should restart the mission. It's been so long since I played this. I forgot there was crud in the water. Okay. I'll just have to keep that in mind. I'll look around later.
I expect they're hard at work in there. Best join them. They'll help you get whoever really killed the Empress.
I'm going to look around first, because it's what I do. Just not in the water this time. And that is why we look around. Leave stuff lying around. Excerpt from a book on the far continent, Pandysia. At the Academy of Natural Philosophy, they speak of the Pandysian continent as a place of wonder where all of life has intertwined and blossomed across aeons, producing a vibrant ecology unrivaled in the civilized world. The overseers from the Abbey of the Everyman, by contrast, talk of horror and heresy, of cults of submen engaged in brutal, perverse rituals. The few who have travelled to the far continent and come back to the Isles, those who have actually touched the soil there, have returned with notes that describe vast deserts, deep jungles, and outlandish creatures that defy belief. Once in a generation, a great effort is mounted to build a colony there, in hopes of this someday growing into a port city to rival Dunwall itself, but to date, these attempts have all ended in madness and failure. I have a map. How does one access the map? Weapons out, then it's fine. Stop wondering how you put the darn things away though.
Attention all citizens. Curfew extends from sundown to sunrise unless you are otherwise authorized. Violators will be subject to interrogation and detained when necessary. Remember, the boldest measures are the safest.
Sewer access. I think I have to remember all this. Well, that specifically. Anywho.
Even after 6 months in Cold Ridge Prison, he slipped out like it was nothing.
Yes. Not surprising. He was the personal bodyguard of the Empress. Well.
I really should have turned the brightness all the way up, shouldn't I? That's the sewers. I've got to go there anyway eventually. I remember that much. Ching.
My furnishings have been installed at last with no small amount of complaining by that antiquated boatman. The others have no idea what it's like to suffer as I have. Speaking of which... Wallace! Please breathe 2 bottles of Dunwall Red, never mind which, and fetch a clean glass. Well, I'll begin again tomorrow.
Thought occurs, but very hard, head bob, blah blah. UI. Now, would it be under audio? Subtitles. All. Should have done that earlier. Excerpt from the Travel Journal of a Young Whaler, A Gaffer's Tale, Volume 1, or A Gaffer's Early Adventures. My sister Nina and I left Tivia together, saying goodbye to our aunt, the woman who had raised us since childhood, leaving behind our home city of Yarrow and the cold but beautiful white landscapes we had always known. We boarded a ship for Dunwell. Our parents had left us with a sizable inheritance, and we spent half of this getting to the capital city and establishing a small import shop dedicated to Tivian furs. Once I helped Nina establish the business, I was free to pursue my dream. Signing on with a whaling ship was the most exciting thing I'd ever done, and I saw it as a means to an end. Someday I would captain my own crew and eventually own a fleet of similar vessels. With tears in her eyes, Nina kissed me farewell, and I did not see her again for many months. As an apprentice to the gaffer, I got to see the tracking and killing of the great beasts up close. Nothing had ever fired my spirit so, as the wind and pounding waves racing after a wounded whale, being pulled by a skein of cables embedded in its thick flesh. I changed more in those first 7 months than I had in the previous 7 years. Whaling was beginning to put its mark on me, so that Nina barely recognized me when I returned, tanned and sinew with muscle. Weather caresses already wrinkling the corners of my eyes, but she could see that I was filled with joy, having found my purpose. Excerpt from a book on naval history. While each of the isles has some form of naval fleet, none is more envied than that of Bristol, with its long proud history of great ships and the admirals who command them. Boys come of age in the cities of Crystal, hoping to someday captain such a ship, and family dynasties are made by those captains who track down infamous pirates or crush seditious uprisings, as during the Morley insurrection. In times of war and peace, Crystal continues to innovate at sea. The ship designs of Anton Sokolov himself now represent the highest standard in the whaling trade, allowing crews to haul their kills up over the deck and begin their butchery and processing. Even as the ship returns to Dunwall, the crews can be seen working on their latest whale as the ship moves slowly up the Wareham River, coming to dock with one of the powerful warehouse companies, such as the Grievous Whaling House. Suspended in the rigging overhead and backlit by the setting sun, the silhouette of one of these creatures makes a moving sight as it cruises to its final resting place in the industrial heart of the capital city. Yoink.
Log entry 1-4. Seems we've moved to a new phase. Martin's improvisations have borne fruit. The former bodyguard has been freed and is en route to the staging location. Pendleton's voting block and my military connections. All we've lacked is the ability to project lethal force in a controlled manner against a previously inaccessible... to the point, we need a man who can kill the bastards for us. Corvo is more than capable of that, I have no doubt. N-bomb. Is this off? Switch. Switch, where the hell is that?
Oh, 1 second. That's better. Slightly. My eyes were starting to hurt. This ain't perfect, but it'll have to do. It has been days since our men were dispatched to stash weapons for Corvo in the old sewer. They have not returned, so we can only hope that they succeeded in getting the packages delivered. Piero spent considerable time and resources making those things. If I could find a way to mass produce them, the Dunwall Navy would secure its place as the dominant force on the globe. But back to Corvo. Can he actually break out of Coldridge? And if so, will he make his way here? I personally give him odds of 5 in 1. Should be 5-2-1, but whatever. Excerpt from the Travelling Journal of a Whaler in His Final Years, A Gaffer's Tale Volume 2, or A Gaffer's Final Passage. After more than a quarter of a century, I am done with whaling, too broken to continue. I've seen all the corners of the Isles and made more coin than most men see in a lifetime, but it's all gone. I've lived through an emperor and watched his daughter take the throne. Fair young empress she was, but slain so young. Everything beautiful comes to die. I've eaten in every port of the known world and sailed in the loneliest waters you can imagine. I've seen the cliffs around Pandyssia. Even the best of it doesn't give me an ounce of joy. The years come back across my dreams as a line of butchered bodies, long, sleek, and singing among the waves under the moonlight, only to be speared by ugly, weather-scarred men who'd knife each other for a good pair of boots. Every year I had less time to come here. My tongue forgot the language of small chatter, and those who lived in the cities thought me odd. My sister Nina hardly knew what to say to me during our visits. When she lost her business to the Lord Regent's crooked barristers, I was 100 miles east of Morley, gaff hand frozen from the sleet as we tracked the first bull whale we'd seen in months. I helped her as much as I could, but Nina died in the early days of the plague. None of it mattered. If I'm jaded and bitter, it's because this industry has taken away my dreams. The world has beaten me. Well.
Any items recovered from doing so are considered state property.
Excerpt from a book of sea shanties sung by sailors. What will we do with the drunken whaler? What will we do with the drunken whaler? What will we do with the drunken whaler early in the morning? Feed him to the hungry rats for dinner. Feed him to the hungry rats for dinner. Feed him to the hungry rats for dinner early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Slice his throat with a rusty cleaver. Slice his throat with a rusty cleaver. Slice his throat with a rusty cleaver early in the morning. Ugh. Stuff him in a sack and throw him over. Stuff him in a sack and throw him over. Stuff him in a sack and throw him over early in the morning. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises. Way, hey, and up she rises early in the morning. Excerpt from a series of Overseer invocations by High Overseer Abraham Templeton. And I say to you, brothers, it is here that we make our stand as a righteous force against the growing darkness. It is here that we unite against the spirits of the unknown that would drag us screaming into the night, never to return to our homes, to our families. Together we will serve as a rod to those who would stray from the herd, for the foggy grey wastes of the outsider. We will burn a bright fire with our virtuous actions, so that others will not lose their way, and to those who choose to wander beyond the walls of our homes, in far places, we will strike at them swiftly before they whisper to their neighbours, filling their hearts with strangeness and doubt.
My, you must be Corvo. I am Lydia, at your service. Your room is upstairs and ready. When they told me who it was, well, I thought you'd be older, like the Admiral.
Is required to speak to the City Watch at once.
Okay.
Attention all citizens. Curfew from sundown to sunrise, unless you are otherwise authorized. Violators will be subject to interrogation and detained when necessary. Remember, the...
Excerpt from a theatre play. Lord Nathan Bale shaking with outrage. How dare you, sir, clothed so in my very home? I should hand you over to the watch, depraved Tavian. Prince Canicer moving closer. That's a harsh welcome for royalty, my lord. Your daughter treated me with much more hospitality. Alas, she has gone out for the evening, leaving me all alone. Lord Nathan Bale, stammering, studying the younger man before him. What are you doing? Leave this house. Go back to your frozen wasteland, pale rascal. Prince Calasar, smiling coyly, reaching out. No need for anger between us, Lord Bale. Is it so wrong for me to be here? As I've proven, I've developed an affinity for you and your family. Lord Nathan Bale gasping. Oh my, Calasar. Your skin is so warm it burns.
These measures are the safest.
Excerpt from a longer work of fiction. Finding my way by the feeble light of the dying fire, I saw her working. A large needle moved in her hand, following precise esoteric patterns, knots and loops of seamstresses' craft from ancient days. Beneath her needle, her body clenched and shuddered, shaking the wooden table. A morbid fascination pushed me closer, until she turned her blank face towards me, resting the needle in his flesh. With a refined tone, she addressed me. So, you are the lover, I presume. You too have been unfaithful, and it is now your turn to be mended. Ugh. I read that one, didn't I? Yep.
Attention, citizens of Dunwall. The Old Port District has been added to the evacuation list. The Weeper count for the month of siege has increased. The Lord Regent has decreed that plague ordinances will remain in effect through the month of rain. Stay alert and stay loyal.
Right. Door. Ah, it's wonderful when people just leave money lying around. Okay, it's up there. Good. see. Trial, expert from a book on the esoteric practices of the Abbey. Yep, I've already read that. Excerpt from a book on the celebrations on holidays. At the end of every year, after the last day of the month of songs, we begin the Fuge Feast. The new year has not started, and thus the time that follows is outside the calendar. A period of celebration and feasting begins, during which the people abandon the very practices that keep them whole and healthy over the year. Many leave their homes, euphoric with spirits or potent herbs. Some paint their faces or wear masks to conceal themselves as they pursue their passions without reservation. When the right cosmological signs are observed, and it is time for the calendar to begin anew, the sitting High Overseer calls for the hymn of atonement, and the Fuge Feast ends. Families return to their homes, wives to their husbands, enemies put down their weapons, and fires are extinguished. No complaint is given for those who have wronged others, deviated from ancient codes, or disregarded oaths, for this time during the astrological alignment does not exist and is not recorded. The following day starts the new year, marked on the first day of the month of Earth, as it has always been. Excerpt from a work of fiction, early chapters. My stomach twisted as the engines of the old vessel roared louder. It was the creation of Orchado, third prefect from the Academy of Natural Philosophy. He was exhilarated, savouring each of the small craft's undulations. Orchado pulled a lever, and a great gout of smoke surrounded us. The smell of burning whale oil grew unbearable as the machine propelled itself upward. I was too afraid to look through the window, which suddenly didn't feel thick enough, as if knowing my thoughts. Overseer Brine looked at me and smiled. Recite some of the litany, my pupil. It will protect your heart from the turpitude of the void on our way to the other spheres. I want to go down there, but I'll never get back up. I can leave that for later, when I have the appropriate skill. Which will be the only skill I get. Anyway, back down to the first floor.
We can continue this later, Lord Pendleton. The man of the hour is here. Corvo, I'm Admiral Havelock. A true servant of the Empire, like you. Until the Lord Regent purged those of us who wouldn't recognize his claim on the throne.
And I'm Lord Trevor Pendleton. I represent the nobility in our little group. But we all act as equals here at the Hound Pits pub.
This is a momentous occasion, Corvo. I'm going to come out with it. We've been building a coalition of loyalists, aimed at ending the Lord Regent's tyranny and restoring the throne.
At risk of execution, we're committed to finding young Lady Emily and seeing her crowned as Empress.
We've got big plans, but we can't do any of it without you. We need your skills, your ability in a fight. And in helping us, we're going to help you destroy the men who murdered the Empress.
Sorry. You must be exhausted. We can discuss this further after you've recovered. But before you retire, you should introduce yourself to Piero. He's challenging at times, but his industrious mind buys him that right.
Yes. Piero's as much an artist as a technician. He's going to be crafting the gear you'll need. Go talk to him, and then get some sleep.
Attention,
We can talk
Dunwall
more when you've
citizens.
rested.
Be advised, the river crust infestation has spread downriver, as far as the river mouth and flood district.
Gear I
Do
need.
not attempt to approach or
Hilarious.
destroy a river crust. Any items recovered from doing so are considered...
Anyway, let's finish exploring. What? No idea why the screen went dark then. Yoink, yoink.
Attention, Dunwall citizens. Lady Emily Caldwell was abducted 6 months ago during her mother's terrible murder. Anyone with information leading to the location or return of the daughter of our beloved late Empress is required to speak to the City Watch at once.
Attention all citizens. Curfew extends from sundown to sunrise unless you are otherwise authorized. Violators will be subject to interrogation and detained when necessary. Remember, the boldest measures are the safest.
Entrance again. Check.
be crafting your weapons and gear. All custom work. For you, I will create the tools of a master assassin. No! This cannot happen now. The tank of whale oil's run out. Will you get a new tank from upstairs, please, while I hold this in place? Be careful. Oil's unstable. When it explodes, there's a terrible mess.
Excerpt from a series of newspaper articles from prominent natural philosophers by Piero Joplin. It is through no fault of my own that the average citizen has expressed a preference for Sokolov's elixir over my own formula, sold as Piero's remedy. A name I did not choose, if you must know the truth. The public has spoken its usual message of idiocy, spending their coin as a means of selecting Sokolov's formula over mine, which I believe to be equal, if not superior. Much has been made over the popularity of those concoctions as a means of resisting this remarkable new plague. I say remarkable because this strain works with an efficiency we have not seen in the history of the Empire. This plague, now making its way through the city of Dunwall, is unrivaled in its effectiveness. I've studied it within the blood of those so afflicted, and it is nearly perfect. Elegant, in fact. And while it is true that Piero's remedy and Sokolov's elixir are known to protect the body against the plague equally, my own has properties not fully understood, which relate to the mind itself and the spirit, and it is this way that my formula wins out. Here is where one should pay attention to this contest, for you see, Sokolov's elixir, with its emphasis on the brutal animal body, is a crass goo better suited for livestock. The subtle and secret variants in the key ingredients making up Piero's remedy ensure that it works on the higher functions that separate humankind from the mindless blue-jawed hagfish swimming in the Refren River. Piero, no, I will not sign off on these purchases. A bag of powdered crystal, Tybian ore? What's wrong with the metals in crystal? King Sparrow feathers? If you need feathers, sacrifice your own pillow. Maybe at the academy everything you needed was paid for by tariff and handed out willy-nilly, but this is my bar, or what's left of it, and we're operating on a budget. We're running low on oil, food, elixir, building materials, and everything else, so you've got to slow down. While I'm footing the bill, I will not approve your purchases unless they're absolutely required. No more copper wire or special herbs. If you need those things, go out and scavenge them. Half the city is in ruins, so no one is going to miss any of the old crap you seem to need. Admiral Havelock. Excerpt from a recent book detailing Sokolov's machines. One of the advantages of Sokolov's technology is that they share the same magnetic socket for the tank's protest whale order they use as fuel. When a tank is exhausted, another can be plugged into place with ease, and the process is simple enough that any common workman or even the lower guardsman of the city watch can handle the task. This applies to their arc pylon and wall of light security systems, as well as the powered carriages used for transit by those few who are wealthy enough to afford them. The only obvious downside of Sokolov's design is the velocity of the tanks themselves. A few incidents have occurred, resulting in damage to property or bodily harm whenever one of these tanks has exploded. Just useless for me, because this isn't a killing run. Excerpt from a series of lectures on natural philosophy by Pierre Joplin. Of course I have attempted to improve upon Sokolov's design. Of course, and why not? After all, it is likely that his thinking was influenced in some small way by our time together at the Academy. We're all part of a community, striving to unknot the mysteries of the cosmos. Even those among us who possess the greatest minds are often led to a fruitful line of consideration by, how does one say it, our intellectual subordinates. Sokolov is no exception to this, despite the glamour of genius he has cast over the aristocracy. And further, it is true that many of my experiments have failed. No need to gossip about it behind my back in your social clubs and in the very chambers of the Academy itself. Great ambition requires risk. You may laugh now at my door to nowhere, but someday you will not. Your children will likely see it as commonly as you see the electrical lamps lighting our streets at night. But a few short years ago, you would have laughed at Sokolov's arc pylon or wall of light. Your laughter, your condescending smiles, they are nothing but evidence of your own limited imagination. Excerpt from a manual on new city watch procedures, commissioned by the Lord Regent in the face of growing plague crisis. The dead counter is a position that will only be given to officers, usually of junior or middle grade. In most matters of edict or curfew enforcement, these officers will defer to the acting officer on duty. However, any dead counter will have command in situations related to the plague and the handling of the dead, including those with late-stage plague symptoms called weepers in common parlance. Starting in the month of rain, interested officers may apply for the test and, if accepted, for the 2 weeks training tour. Pay will be administered in coin and rations of elixir at 1 1/2 normal pay grade. A lot of law. Experts from the notes of a natural philosopher aboard a whaling ship. Remarkably, each specimen I had the pleasure of studying during the voyage possessed some minor variance in physiology. On the second layer of the trip, east of Tibia, the crew hauled aboard a female, some 42 inches in length. I estimated she weighed 35 tons, and the ship sat low, rocking side to side through the night with her thrashing. By candlelight, I took her apart, sketching and taking notes. Against her bellowing, I cut into the mass of tentacles around her mouth. Within, I found row upon row of teeth, and a baleen running along the upper jaw. Though this broom-like structure, I assumed she filtered food from the water that was too small to be chewed. Excerpt from The Founding of the Grievous Whale House by Ebenezer Greaves. Out at sea they secure the beast with hooks, with lines cast from the main ship and from several smaller boats. Buoys keep the whale from diving deep. Once it's caught, a larger hook is driven through the tail, which is used to hoist the creature up through the chute. They moan and bellow for some time as the men get them onto the deck, then lift them into the scaffolding overhead. The ship adjusts its prow and returns to port in Dunwell, where the crew works on the great creature, slicing off the fattiest parts while it still lives. Sokolov no longer has the upper hand with regard to this. Interruptions. Sokolov no longer has the upper hand with regards to the supplies of whale oil. The good Admiral has paid for the installation of my own system, which will enable me to work in this place. The oil tank dispenser, when activated, will produce an empty vessel for filling. When the empty tanker is held near the oil tank refill pump, the magnetic attractor should take the tank and lock it in the current configuration. Using the lever will begin the refilling process. Once refilling is completed, the tank can be removed and placed in service. Extreme caution must be used in handling the fuel tanks. They're quite unstable. The system is sound and well engineered. It appears that the Greaves Oil Company has done something correctly for once.
The Academy teaches that absurd idea that the energy in whale oil arises from the need to maintain life functions at extreme ocean depths. The pressure and the cold are too much to endure without it. I speculate that a human being might, by a process of adaptation, produce high-energy humors in the body. I could build a tank that would slowly increase pressure on a subject over a long period of time, and then observe them for years if need be, to see if the formulation of energetic substances developed. Surely the Empress would be able to furnish me with facilities, subject to the necessary legal amnesty.
Perfect. Now plug it in. Jet? Perfect. Thank you, Cole. Here, see? The assassin's mask. You're a wanted man, so everyone in the city knows your face, but this mask will bring terror to them. If you just hold still, the fit must be precise. There. Can you see normally? Center lens out of alignment. There. Better now? I could create more for you. Upgrades for your gear, weapons, munitions. But our situation here is desperate. Scavenge the city for valuables and I will resell them on the black market. That should give us the money to craft the things you need. Tell me what I can make for you.
Not now, Piero.
You must be exhausted. I advise that you get some sleep. Your life will get even more difficult soon. You should rest while you can. Very well.
Done looking around.
You know best. Let me know if you need anything more. My break with the Academy was explosive, for lack of a better word. I had to rebuild from scratch, but so much that
Yeah,
I
well.
was sick of using the tools.
Is the man dangerous?
Yes, very much so, but no need to fear. He is here to work with our masters.
Now,
say
under
he killed
normal
the Empress.
circumstances, I just go into my room, rest, start the next mission, play through it.
Okay.
But unfortunately,
The
I
Admiral
have
trusts
been
him? So
interrupted
what?
and asked to help with something, which is just typical. And if what I'm hearing right now is any indication, it's gonna get noisy soon. Just typical. Not to mention there's no wind coming into my room, which is why I've had the fan on. You could probably hear that a little anyway. And this was really just a test of the new PC as well, so I'm gonna save it again, because that's what I do, and stop here for now. If my TV wants to turn over to the right channel so I can change them, ain't I? Yeah, anyway. I'll be back again tomorrow. With more.